Fanatic Onic.
Your team is banning.
I'm going to go with Fanatic Onic as well. I think 2 games is enough. I feel like if they go back to their roots, they'll be able to pull this one off.
You know me, T-Bless, ready to put some sanction down on somebody, and right now I'm going with the underdogs, with Myanmar, the Burmese, Falcon Esports. I think they can pull it off. They're in the driver's seat right now. All they got to do is take it across the finish line.
All right, let's see what the draft dictates. It's 2-1. The desk says Fanatic Onic will take it, but Trex believes in Falcon. What's the opening pick?
Oh, I mean, Bruno is gone. Which
Bruno's
means
gone.
Cho should be first on the board for Fanatic Onic. I mean, right now it could be flex, right? You don't know if it's going to go into the roam. You don't know if it's going to go into the XP lane. And I feel like it's the safest option so far. But it is going to be the Joy. There's no Fredrin, though.
Okay, so counterplay out the door.
That's what I wanted to see. Remember in last game, I was like, they banned the Fred, they could take Joy right up front here. But they took the Suyo, and they allow the counter. So now, FCON's in the position where they have to find the counter to the Joy. What is it? Joy's been winning games back to back to back in this series. They pick up the Hylos, they get the Granger, so they have some front line. They have some answers a little bit. The Hylos hasn't slipped through yet.
Oh, this is getting spicy right now. The audience going wild, cheering.
How often do you hear cheering in the draft alone? As if the chess match between our coaches were as intense. I'll tell you now, I think it's very much called for, because this draft sets up the game for him.
Setting the tone right now. Falcon Esports 1 win away, which was once looking like the impossible has worked in their favor, but now Fanatic Onic ready to claw back with the Eve and the Hilda.
All right, already they have great tempo control. And explain this to me. The Hayabusa picked into the Hilda.
It's dangerous. It's scary.
You know,
it's worrisome.
Coach T on his off time is an XP laner, so you know you're gonna send yourself straight into that jungle.
Yeah, this is definitely, it's tough, right? You're already looking to have a little bit of trouble here. The only goal for FCON at this point is, I don't care if you gotta give up minions, I don't care what you gotta do, you need to stay next to that Hilda at all times and protect the president, which right now it is not Benny, it is Hayabusa.
That makes me feel like the Hylos will be, no, it could still be flexed to the roam to the XP lane. But yeah, you are gonna have to watch out for this Hilda invading the jungle of the Hayabusa. But with the Haya, it's a free way to get to that Eve.
That is something that Super Friends has to watch out for. So he has to pick a very specific battle spell, likely a flicker. He is handy with a flicker. Second ban here for Falcon. Did they take away one more choice of gold laner for Kelra to address that missing pick? You think the 1-1?
I think the 1-1's very viable. I think it could definitely work out here.
1-1 or Moskov?
Yeah, maybe the Moskov and force him into the 1-1, but the 1-1 does really good against the Hylos.
That it does.
So at this point, I think you just take out the 1-1. They go for the Cho ban instead, also a decent ban. But yeah, if the 1-1 gets picked up, FNOP's looking good, I feel like. It's at least when it comes to like Lord fights and some of those more late game fights, Hylos is gonna have a little bit of trouble.
Wait a second. Maybe, just maybe, the Mathilda is still available. Couldn't FCON take that up? I mean, it'd be another way.
Both of them can.
They both can.
Yes.
But FCON has priority right now.
Yeah, and you're already pretty squishy with the Hayabusa. It's a pick you could capitalize on, but also a little bit risky.
Could go sideways.
It could go very sideways.
What Falcon is actually looking for is the kind of damage in mid that is the right damage profile burst. Thankfully, they pick up the Vixana. If there was any other pick, they would be having a hard time finishing people off with the Granger and the Haya. Good pickup here. Still, we don't know who's going into actually Roamer XP. Fanatic Onic, what goes into the hands of the Filipino Savage here? The 1-1's still open. At large, the Moskov too.
Yeah, both of them can definitely get the job done, but you have to watch out for this Hayabusa. So maybe going in for a little bit more of that survivability could work out better in their favor, because I'm just worried about the dive potential, right? When you see this Hayabusa picked up from FCON, they're going to try and get some early kills, some early initiations. There goes the Irithel, slotted in.
Okay, so we've seen Kelra play the Irithel before. It was against the 1-1. You know, it was against some of those picks, but still, I'm not completely against this.
I've played this matchup before. I'm pretty confident with the Irithel. You just have better coverage. Granger has to draw straight lines. As the Irithel, you can actually, you know, have some combat mobility.
And you have decent kite against the high-low, so you have decent kite against a lot of what FCON wants to bring.
And if it comes down to it, you can dodge the big thicket ults, the EG, if you're somehow in the thick of it, in the middle of things, and the Hayabusa's ult, the shadow kill. Heavy crossbow into like a party of 3.
Yeah.
And you spread the damage there.
Now, do we see the Mathilda picked up here? Is this a Hylos in the roam or a Hylos in the XP lane? Seconds away from the final draft for game number 5. And Tig has been slotted in for FCON.
That is a Kid X special. How do you feel about the draft, coach?
I do like FNOP right now. I feel like FNOP looks very clean. They brought it back in for sure.
One final game in this best of 5. Let's throw it out to our casters to call the action. Jose and Jose.
Hang on, we gotta check IOI Convention. It's game 5. Are you guys ready? All right, they're ready. It's me, Naisu, and Ingan to bring you game 5. One last look at the draft. 2 solid lineups. It's been back and forth, Ingan. What do you feel, real quick?
I have to agree with the panel. The dive composition that Falcon Esports can bring onto the lineup of Fanatic Onic Philippines might just be too much, but at the same time, Kelra with the Irithel, in terms of mobility, has a slight advantage over the Granger, and let's see what happens.
We're gonna find out what happens. We load into the land of Dawn, a ticket to the top 4, and Axiata Arena on the line. And it's all come down to one game. King Kong and Dax have been back and forth throughout the series. And honestly, when we look at the draft here, everybody gets some solid choices, but we haven't seen the Hayabusa too much.
Okay, an early engage for the Falcons here.
Oh.
Going on to Kirk, even with a Revitalize, they're gonna bring him down. A first blood drawn by Falcon Esports.
Oh man, the fact that you get a first blood already, even though it went to Royal Milk, man, I mean, that's a great start for them. Now for Fanatic Onic, gonna go ahead and try to adjust from this pace. Again, King Kong on the Joy. We know this has been very elusive, but now you have a Hayabusa across from you. Oh!
There was the Void Crystal. But the damage coming in from Brusco, forcing out PX7 to use a Flicker. So there was still an engage from Fnatic Onic Philippines. And let's see if they can continue the aggression, because so far, if Dax just continues on his rampage over King Kong right now, but King Kong managed to steal away that jungle minion.
There's a whole lot here. I mean, this is the tension throughout the series, of course. A lot of battle spells being expended early on. Even Kelra taking a couple shots here. Oh!
Pops the Spirify. One more, Benny. Is he going to be able to do it with the Rhapsody, though?
Oh!
He's going to connect, but it's not going to be enough. Kelra survives.
He sidesteps, he bobs, he weaves. Kelra survives. In that exchange, again, that would have been massive here for Benny if he's able to capitalize on the kill. But still, they find themselves pushing and pulling really on all sides of the map. Now looking at this too, you know, you've got Benny running that Festival of Blood. This time around, he didn't go with the Master Assassin just yet either. So here, we find ourselves first objective for the taking. It's going to be started up by King Kong, and Falcon Esports will get in position. Are they going to be able to contest this?
Okay, King Kong starting things off. Here comes the catch, and Dax gets the turtle. King Kong has to walk away. Here comes the counter engage coming in from Fnatic. Onic Philippines forcing Royal Milk to use the Revitalize. No response for Fnatic, and Falcon Esports, a well-coordinated attack against Fnatic.
Now with that trade, Falcon Esports still holding on to a very minor lead. The fact that they got this objective, PX7, using the Eternal Guard, doesn't have the Flicker though, so able to stay alive for now. Some information. Bottom side though, this is what we see so much in the gold lane right now. And this time around with the fact that this is an Irithel for Kelra. It's going to work in their favor with mobility, but they're going to go for Benny.
There's no Raging Sandstorm for Brusco.
Benny!
Because he wasn't level 4, Benny picks up the counter kill.
A big pickup for Benny, even the 1v2. Looks like Fnatic wanted, you know, to just try to make that play for Kelra, but instead they get punished. So again, an adjustment's got to be made here for Fnatic.
That's how important the first major objective is, which was the turtle. Because Fnatic Onic Philippines didn't have the chance to get it, Brusco wasn't level 4. They went for the engage. The Raging Sandstorm wasn't available. And Benny was, Wiggy Shadow Kill, forcing Super Prince to walk away. Here comes King Kong onto the backline with the electrifying beast. Raging Sandstorm finally connects onto Dax, but answers with the implosion! Here comes the counter attack, but still King Kong manages to find Dax and walk away safely.
Kirk is there, joining the fight. Kid X able to get away. Again, the momentum shifts just slightly, diminishing that minor gold lead that Falcon Esports built up. And now King Kong holding on to the 2 kills. This is what he wants to do. He wants to go ahead and scale up as quickly as possible, especially when you have Dax on the Hayabusa across from you. Turtle coming up here at 10 seconds away as it's on the bottom portion of the map. They'll have to rotate down. King Kong still up on the top side. Dax will make his way though. They might just try to blitz this forward. They have 3 members here, Kelra and Brusco, waiting for the rest of the team. Positioning important. King Kong might, hold on, Brusco.
Defending Raging Sandstorm. Quick Sand Guard to make sure he's not going to get picked up by Falcon Esports. Here comes King Kong though. Brusco has to walk away.
Kelra.
Brusco went down, but BX7 as well. Kelra in the midst of everything go. Kirk working on a Kid X. Kid X has an implosion plus the revitalize. Here comes the Sacred Hammer, and it's going to get a kill on to Kid X. King Kong zoning out Benny, but Falcon Esports remains unbothered. Going to try and go for the purple buff. Kirk though, zoning out Royal Milk.
They're going to have to go ahead and just get this buff. Dax goes and secures it. King Kong's going to start the turtle. They expended quite a bit on both sides for this. Dax will check things out before members of Fnatic Onic will force Royal Milk back. So they might have just gotten a hard-fought turtle. Now Benny gonna be in trouble. Gets out with the flicker. And Brusco be able to escape. But now Kirk, King Kong looking for the back play as well. They go in a little bit longer.
King Kong brings down PX7 with the electrifying bleats. And Kelra works on the bottom lane turret. They also secure the turtle. A lot of isolated clashes there for both of these teams. But Fnatic Onic Philippines, they won all 3.
Man, it just feels like, you know, at one moment, FNOP flips a switch, they turn things in their favor, and they just cause some chaos that makes teams kind of second guess a little bit on the positioning. I mean, they collapse down even under the turrets, so they now build up 2,000 gold lead at this point. They got the last objective. Falcon Esports still in fighting form, though. They're still in a good position to go ahead and contest the next turtle when it comes up, but they might look for another play if they can. Again, the surprise factor here really is for Kid X. He's got the implosion, he's got the flicker combination, where Royal Milk, he's more so of utility. I have some sustainability with Revitalize, but I can also use the Glorious Pathway to cut off the exit routes, but Royal Milk.
Okay. They're going to force out the Glorious Pathway to be used defensively. On the other hand, Kirk has to walk away here, coming in with damage of Falcon Esports. They also used up their Revitalize. Major resource expended for the side of Falcon Esports. And they're going to make quick work of the mid lane turret. They might set their eyes on Benny. King Kong goes in, Rhythm of Joy, electrifying beats, and a mega kill for the beast himself, King Kong!
You can't stop him. You can only contain King Kong, but now in the mid lane.
There's an attempt coming in from Falcon Esports. Here's come one to Kid X again with the implosion. But the sustain is there for Fnatic Onic Philippines. Kelra dishing out the damage, forcing Falcon Esports to walk away. Again, no trade. And I do agree, you cannot stop King Kong in his element. 4-0-1. Now they're going to take away the buffs of Falcon Esports.
They've got to stop him, though. They have to stop him from taking the resources. Dax is going to need this. He's only level 9, nearly level 10, but he's falling behind here. Turtle up for the taking. Going to go ahead and get in position. Falcon Esports needs this. If not the turtle, then a defining team fight in their favor. They don't have a flicker for Kid X. He's got to wait for the implosion to be available, so they'll take their time with it. But even so, Benny and the PX7 both have to watch out positioning-wise. They're going to set things up. Benny picking up with the Malefic Roar. Turtle's going to be started up by King Kong. And now Kirk providing the vision. Both gold laners making their way towards the fight here.
Okay, they're going to try and work on Kirk. Here comes the implosion. They're going to commit it. Dax on the other hand trying to focus on the turtle. Brusco is the first man down, but they answer right back with a kill onto Kid X. King Kong still gets the turtle. Another kill onto Kirk. Falcon Esports doing their best to try and bring down King Kong with a Wiggy Shadow kill, but it's not going to be enough to bring down King Kong. Fnatic on Onic Philippines with a 2.6k gold lead.
The 2-for-2 trade, but the objective for FNOP further in the lead a little bit further, and that's a Holy Crystal now with a Starlium Scythe for King Kong. Look at the gap for the jungle. In terms of the gold, a massive lead right now, 2.2k ahead of Dax. And when you pick a Hayabusa like this is where it gets difficult, holding on to the buff, so they go in and break out in a fight, they'll take the purple.
This is the main difference compared to game number 3 and game number 4. Kirk has been activated along with Brusco. They finally are able to get the vision, to get the zone from Falcon Esports compared to what happened during game number 4 wherein with the Akai pick. It was easy to burst down and poke down Brusco. That's why during the big engagements, he has no HP. He gets bursted down right away, not able to maximize the ultimate. But right now, it's different. It's a different story for Fnatic Onic Philippines. We see Kirk, even if he overextends, even if Kid X commits Implosion and Sacred Hammer, it's not enough to burst him down. But all the value that they get with what Kirk did was all used up by Fnatic Onic.
Man, even for Super Prince, you know, the fact that he's just able to go ahead and be a nuisance by setting things up with the RWM, but he also just has a glowing wand and a wishing lantern. I mean, the Void Crystals alone are enough to go ahead and stop some of the guessing of Falcon Esports on wanting to fight. And Dax is almost going to be in a situation where then, all right, he's behind, he's got to kind of catch up. He's not going to be really to go face-to-face against King Kong. So best case scenario for Dax is he's just able to go ahead and somehow steal the Lord if that ends up happening. It might have to happen here. We've seen this time and time again with previous Hayabusa players, but again, the zoning potential from FNOP is so good that Dax's entry point is really hard to get to. I mean, he has such a difficult time actually getting there, even with the quad shadows.
Yeah.
So now the Lord is up. It's going to be started up by King Kong. It's still going to be used too. They want to make a play on Royal Milk.
Okay, they want to go for the -1. King Kong here with electrifying beats, forcing the Glorious Pathway once again, plus the Revitalize. That's 2 major resources expended by Falcon Esports. And again, you mentioned Dax. It's going to take a lot miracles to try and go for the Lord Steal, but here comes the Sacred Hammer play onto Kirk.
Oh, Dax, look at that. Already so low, even with the quad shadow. A quarter of the health. They know they're low. They're going to start up the Lord again. He's going to try to get the orange buff and get some health back here. They might be able to delay this even further still. As Falcon Esports, do they contest this? Orange buff locked in, get some of the health back. He's going to reset. They know that some of the resources were down as well from FNOP. So both teams still going for a reset. Even with this kind of lead, Fnatic Onic cannot overextend into the team fight, and they'll send Benny back down to possibly just push this out a little bit, that tier 1.
He's going to try to go for a trade instead, because again, looking at the... Oh! Brusco along with Super Friends going to bring down Royal Milk! Real world manipulation paired up with a Raging Sandstorm is enough to take him down. Now they're going to work on Kid X. Here comes the power of Brilliantness, forcing Kid X to walk away. 1 member down for Falcon Esports. Fnatic Onic Philippines looks to get the Lord away from Falcon.
Should be able to get this. Dax is around the corner. I said he might have to go for a steal. Looks like he might try to do it. Pop in the shadow kill, but they delay the Lord a little bit further.
Oh, Super Friends manages to find Dax. And now he has to walk away. Fnatic Onic Philippines secures the Lord.
Great pull off there. When they saw Dax enter, they didn't keep pressuring it, so they're able to go ahead and safely secure the Lord. Falcon Esports in a position once again to get ready to defend. Some crucial items were just picked up. They are catching up a little bit here, but you can see it. A lot of this is relying on Benny. Again, he's got the items that he needs, still working on the next one, the 3rd item. We'll see if it's enough to defend into the base. That Lord is pushing its way down the bottom. They are going to lose that tier 2 up top. They'll try to hold on to what they can. The shields might even be threatened here. They'll clear out what they can, but this is the moment. Maybe Kid X is able to pull something off with the implosion. But can he withstand the damage? Again, Kid X not fully locked in. Only a Dominance Ice completed on this Tigreal pick. They'll try to spot them out of the jungle as they deal with the Lord right now, but so far so good for Falcon Esports. Glorious Pathway dropped down to try to maintain the tier 2 in that mid lane. There's a conceal though. They might put some pressure here now on the base of Falcon Esports.
Falcon Esports made quick work of that Lord down bottom and manages to save Also, the mid lane turret. Just look at the damage coming in from Kelra, forcing PX7 to walk away. King Kong, electrifying Peak. This might be the catch. Falcon Esports gets 1 kill. Now they want to go for more though. Kid X with a conceal. Oh, missed the implosion. Super Friends with a super instinct. And now the counter attack coming in from Kelra. They're going to take down 1 more. Kid X is going to fall down in exchange for King Kong.
I can't say I wouldn't have tried it myself. Kid X went in, but it didn't work. And right now, they look to go ahead and just stop the bleeding. I mean, they got King Kong. Oh, Royal Milk?
Okay.
Where's Pathway? Not sure what they're going to do with this if they just want to secure the purple buff. They have the rest of the team to help them out with this, but look at the front line. Brusco taking a couple shots, and Kirk will also be spotted out. Again, making it work here for Dax to get the buff. Goes in, takes a couple shots, and has to go back, so he's going to lose the purple buff.
You can just see the damage of the Death Sonata and Rhapsody not sufficient. Kirk just stood up against the Rhapsody, took all bullets, and just look at the health, full health already, utilizing the passive, just going into the bushes alongside Brusco. So how do you go and attack the front line, even if you have a Benny with the Granger already has huge items? Fnatic Onic Philippines with a 4.2k gold lead. The thing is, the only thing that Fnatic Onic Philippines really needs to worry about is the implosion that can come from Kid X at any given moment, paired up with the internal guard. But the thing is, they were able to avoid it with Super Friends Flicker. Here comes the Sacred Hammer. Okay, but Kirk still going for it.
They're going to jump on in. Actually, already crafting down on Kid X. They're in trouble.
They collapsed on Kid X to bring him down. No more implosion from Falcon Esports. They might go for 1 more. They're going to try to work on the mid lane turret. They take down the internal guard in now 3 seconds. Major objective for Fnatic Onic Philippines. The Lord has spawned.
I think Dax still tries the same thing. Even down with Kid X. Kid X will be up in 14. They can delay it enough for him to be up. Plus he'll have the flicker. So if they try to make something happen, but they're going to send Kirk to go ahead and spot them out. Might force something. Oh!
Ooh, the power of wilderness might be too much. Dax has to retreat. Glorious Pathway again used defensively. Fnatic Onic Philippines, King Kong secures the Lord.
Objectives secured. And now for Falcon Esports, once again on the defense. But this time, this Lord will help them push into the base. They do hold on to this one tier 2 turret in the mid lane. But if you're looking at the items for this, as they come up, Benny is where that damage profile comes from. Even PX7 still trying to catch up a little bit. We're seeing how much Super Prince is a threat alone. Like we mentioned, still working on his next items. Already got 3. And even the Wishing Lantern, I mean, the Wishing Lantern, the procs there do help out. King Kong picking up a Divine Glaive. So this is just a whole lot of magic damage. Overloading Falcon Esports as they get ready to defend against this. Again, Benny's positioning. He's only got a flicker. He's got that 1 dash, but they'll hold it together. Royal Milk still holding on to the Revitalize and Glorious Pathway. They might need it here unless they force a situation. Brusco, keep an eye on him. Might try to force things in. They lose that top turret. Now the mid lane has to be defended. They're going to clear out the Lord. Dax, oh, Kid X!
Kid X goes in with an implosion, but countered by Brusco with the raging sandstorm from the back line. Going to take down Kid X once more. King Kong with an electrifying beat. Going to force out PX7 to use the flicker. They do, however, clear out the Lord and clear out the minions. They might go for the counter attack. Here comes Dax, though. Does he have the weaky shadow kill? No, he doesn't. And Fnatic Onic Philippines will go for the retreat.
Falcon Esports will defend, though, only losing that top turret. They're still in the game. And whether or not, you know, Kid X gets that setup to turn the tide, they at least buy time. And that's exactly what they need here. Again, at some point in the game, the gold lead will not matter so much. Dax has done a good job at catching back up. Remember, he was down quite a bit against King Kong. Benny is online. He's where he needs to be. But Kid X, once Kid X gets a little bit more tanky, catches up himself in the itemization and doesn't have to solely rely on Royal Milk either, then that's when they're ready to go toe-to-toe and fight this out. Because even Kirk on the hill, man, Kirk alone is so tanky enough.
Okay.
They'll go ahead and get ready for this. Again, trying to take that buff.
Keller already swapped his boots for the Wind of Nature. So he's jam-packed. Keller wants to go all in. And for Falcon Esports, it's either you try and go to contest for the Lord and steal it away, or at least if Fnatic Onic Philippines secures the Lord, you need to take down bodies for the side of Fnatic Onic Philippines.
At this point, FNOP will just go ahead and take things slowly, take the buffs what they can, and go ahead and just gauge to see if Falcon Esports wants to force a fight. I don't think they should. And if they do, it's literally only going to be when Kid X has that flicker available, but It might be better off. They've tried it a couple times that they just get the fair fight they're looking for. You know, we saw what we expected was that back in game 2 where Kid X on the same hero, the Tigreal, wasn't able to work out from him. He's out there scouting, but they're gonna have to work for this. Again, we'll see if he actually gets back, but the Lord is up. It's gonna be started up too. So he does still recall, it looks like, unless he gets the information that he'll actually be safe, but Super Prince will spot Kid X out.
And now they're going to go all in onto Kid X. Royal Milk forced to use the glorious pathway. Kid X immortality will be popped. All the while Kirk onto the backline, and they will bring down Kid X. Connecting to every single member. King Kong with the cleanup crew. Immortality will be popped. Benny has to walk away. He's the only one left.
The raging sandstorm from Brusco was on point. 4 members down. It's only Benny to defend this base push. Kelra and Super Prince, they'll take down the mid turret. They'll clear out the lanes, but they might not be able to end it. Super Prince.
Oh, Kelra in with heavy crossbow, forcing Benny to walk away. He's going to bring down King Kong, but Fnatic doesn't care. They secure top 4.
And the storm rages on as the lightning fast porcupines pierce through the pride